welcome to my channel. Today I've got a tutorial for you on this nail art, well, tutorial slash watch me paint sort of thing. Yeah, because it's still winter, I decided to do sort of a winter landscape with mountains in the background because it's pretty and I just really wanted to paint something landscape-ish today for some reason. So yeah, let's get started. My background this time is actually colored acrylic. I'm still practicing with it. Alternatively, you could just use gel polish or normal nail polish as well. Whatever you want really. I'm using acrylic nails too, obviously. But again, if you want to use something different, you can also use your natural nails, gel nails. As long as there's some form of nail there, you can paint on it basically. Other than that, I use acrylic paint, just cheap acrylic paint. You could try to do something like this with nail polish as well. It might work, but nail polish does dry quicker than acrylic paint and it's more thick and goopy. Personally, I find acrylic paint therefore a lot easier to work with. And yeah, if you buy it at a very cheap budget store, it's also cheaper. So I use acrylic paint for that reason. Other than that, I'm using nail art brushes, which I chop down mostly to make them even thinner. That's just, I got them off either eBay or one pretty store really cheap, so I could risk chopping them up. And it worked, so I can do very tiny details. It's really the most important thing. Make sure you have very thin nail art brushes. As for painting technique, basically what you just saw me do is I started out with the background of the mountains in brown, just the silhouettes. Then started dotting green, then yellow and then orange around to create the trees at the base of the mountains. And here I'm just dotting, well, there I was just dotting snow on top of the mountains. And do make sure to also create some, separate mountain peaks in front of the ones in the background, just to make it more realistic and a bit more alive, to give it more depth really. Then I decided to also paint a little bit of a sky. I used white acrylic paint mixed with a little tiny bit of yellow acrylic paint for that. Just to make sure, like, I didn't want it to be bright yellow, but I also didn't want it to be the same color as the snow. So yeah. And then to give it even more depth, I decided to paint some trees and stuff in the foreground. So basically my idea was, like, if you're standing like at the edge of a forest looking at, a moonlit sky above the mountains, then all trees around you would probably look pretty dark and shadowy. So that's basically the whole idea that I went for with the silhouettes here. Again, just to give it a little bit more depth. Because the silhouettes are so dark and the light is supposed to be behind it, I'm also painting a white edge around it. In real life you could sort of see this glow, but it would be a lot more subtle. However, on nails everything is so very tiny that if you would make this very subtle, then you just wouldn't see it probably. Unless someone would be like looking at your nails from, well, this close, and people usually don't. So yeah, I decided to just do it in white and just basically create a very thin outline around all the black shadows, well, silhouettes I should say, just to make them stand out a little bit more. And then of course it's time to seal everything in top coat. I'm using a gel top coat, but a normal top coat would work just fine as well. Just so long as every bit of the acrylic paint is sealed in, because acrylic paint washes off in water and that would be a waste at this point. So yeah, also really make sure to cap the edges of the nails, the tips of the nails, just to make sure every bit of acrylic paint is going to last for as long as possible. And then here's the final result. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please click the like button, it would really help me out. And if you want to, you can also subscribe to my channel. I do a nail art once every 2 weeks. And other than that, a lot of makeup tutorials. Below this video, as always, you can find a list of the products I used in case this all went too fast. And you want to do something like this as well. It's a very short list really, but you can find it there nevertheless. Also, I have a list of all my social media accounts and names down there. I'm mostly active on Instagram with a lot of makeup and some nail art as well. So I'd love it if you'd want to follow me there too. And yeah, that was it for today. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. And I hope to see you next time. Bye!